and the stillness of the ocean, hidden beneath the waves, lies a mystery that has captivated historians, treasure hunters, and adventurers for centuries. A story of fate, fortune, and tragedy, the tale of the 1715 Spanish treasure fleet remains one of the most enduring maritime enigmas in history. Today, we delve deep into the mystery of this lost fleet, its treasure, and the dramatic events that followed its disappearance. Stay tuned as we unravel the lost legacy of the 1715 Spanish treasure fleet. It was the summer of 1715, a time when Spain's empire was at the height of its power. The Spanish colonies in the Americas were rich in gold, silver, and other precious materials, and the Spanish crown had been collecting its share for years. In a bid to strengthen Spain's military power, a fleet of 12 ships was commissioned to sail from the Americas to Spain, carrying this immense fortune to fund Spain's military campaigns in Europe. The fleet, known as the 1715 Spanish Treasure Fleet, was made up of large, heavily loaded ships. These were not just ordinary merchant ships. They were vessels with invaluable treasure, loaded with gold coins, silver bars, precious gems, and other treasures. The fleet's mission was to deliver the riches back to the Spanish king and to reinforce the empire's treasury. The fleet set sail from Havana, Cuba, in early July 1715. The ships, though heavily armed and well prepared, would soon face a force that no man could fight against: nature's fury. What followed was not just a disaster for Spain's empire, but an event that would forever be etched in maritime history. As the fleet sailed along the coast of Florida, they encountered increasingly stormy weather. The sky turned dark, and the winds picked up, warning the fleet that a serious storm was approaching. But no one could predict just how catastrophic the storm would be. Within hours, the fleet was caught in the grips of one of the most violent hurricanes to ever strike the Caribbean. This was no ordinary storm. The hurricane, which is believed to have been a Category 3 or 4 storm, struck the fleet with all the power of nature. The winds howled at over 100 miles per hour, and the seas swelled to towering heights. The ships, which had been sailing in a tight formation, were scattered like leaves in a tempest. The fleet's commander struggled to regain control, but the storm was relentless. The ships were torn apart by the overwhelming force of the hurricane. Some ships were sunk immediately, while others were driven ashore or capsized. The ship, Nuestra Senora de la Santísima Trinidad, was the only one to survive, but was heavily damaged, making it unable to continue its journey. The loss was devastating. Over 1,000 men, sailors, soldiers, and passengers perished in the storm. Their bodies, along with the treasure they carried, were lost to the ocean. The sinking of the fleet represented not only the loss of invaluable wealth, but the lives of many who had served the Spanish Empire for years. The Spanish crown, the families of the men, and the people of the empire were left to mourn the loss of their hopes and dreams, drowned beneath the waves. The treasure aboard the fleet was staggering. Gold coins, silver bars, emeralds, pearls, and precious jewels, along with intricate items made of solid gold and silver, had been painstakingly loaded onto the ships. Some of the treasure had been mined from the mountains of Peru and Mexico, while other treasures had been looted from the New World during Spain's colonial conquests. The wealth aboard the fleet was meant to be a lifeline for Spain, a source of funds for the empire's military endeavors. But instead, that treasure became part of one of the greatest maritime mysteries in history. As the ship sank and the treasure disappeared beneath the waves, the vast fortune became lost to time, hidden beneath the ocean's depths, never to be seen again. The fleet's cargo was worth an estimated 14 million pesos, a sum so large that it would take centuries for treasure hunters to even begin to recover what was lost. The loss of such vast wealth would have significant implications, but it was the loss of the lives of the men aboard the ships that made the tragedy even more poignant. The sinking of the fleet marked the beginning of a new chapter in the story of the 1715 treasure fleet. While Spain's government struggled to recover the treasure, other opportunistic figures were eager to take advantage of the tragedy. Among them were pirates. News of the wrecks quickly spread, and pirates like Henry Jennings and Charles Vane descended upon the wreck sites to claim what they could. These pirates, ever opportunistic, looted the wrecks, recovering vast quantities of gold and silver. They were some of the first to recover the treasure, although much of it was eventually taken by the pirates themselves. But it wasn't just pirates who were involved in the recovery. Some early salvagers, driven by greed and the lure of wealth, began exploring the wrecks and recovering what they could. Spanish officials, too, launched their own efforts to recover the treasure, but these missions were often thwarted by pirates or the treacherous conditions of the wreck sites. Even with these efforts, much of the treasure remained hidden deep beneath the sea. Some believe that there were entire shipwrecks still undiscovered, their wealth untouched by human hands. As the centuries passed, the quest to recover the treasure of the 1715 Spanish treasure fleet never ceased. In the 19th century, treasure hunters began to focus on locating the wrecks of the fleet. Using rudimentary diving equipment and early sonar technology, they scoured the waters off the coast of Florida, but the technology at the time proved inadequate for finding the wrecks. The ocean was vast, and the ships were scattered over a large area, making it difficult to locate the treasure. In the early 20th century, new advances in underwater technology provided hope. Divers and salvagers began to explore the wrecks more systematically. And in 1955, a group of treasure hunters led by Mel Fisher began their own search for the lost fleet. Fisher was a determined and skilled treasure hunter who had made his name by recovering other lost treasures. His team focused their efforts on the Nuestra Senora de Atacha, a ship believed to have been one of the richest in the fleet. For years, Fisher's team used sonar technology and diving equipment to locate the wreck of the Atacha, and in 1964, they finally succeeded. They recovered an enormous amount of treasure: silver bars, gold coins, and other precious artifacts. Fisher's find was one of the greatest in treasure hunting history, and it brought new attention to the story of the 1715 Spanish treasure fleet. Despite the success of Fisher's team, they did not recover all the treasure. Many believe that other ships, particularly the Urca de Lima, may still be lying in wait, hiding even more of the lost wealth. For treasure hunters, this mystery continues to beckon. Even today, the search for the treasure continues. Modern-day divers and salvage companies still explore the wreck sites off the coast of Florida, hoping to uncover more of the lost fortune. New technologies, including underwater robots and high-tech sonar systems, have made it easier to locate wrecks and recover sunken treasure. In 2024, a team of divers made a remarkable discovery: more than 200 silver coins from the wrecks of the fleet. This discovery, though small compared to the full extent of the fleet's treasure, reignited interest in the story of the fleet. Could there still be more treasure waiting to be found? Many believe that the answer is yes. The modern search for the lost treasure of the 1715 Spanish treasure fleet is ongoing, and each new discovery brings us closer to solving the mystery of what lies beneath the waves. But even if the treasure is eventually found, the mystery of the fleet's disappearance, the fate of the sailors who perished, and the stories of those who search for the treasure will continue to captivate us. Though many of the pirates and early salvagers took their share of the treasure, there remains a question of whether all of it has been recovered. For years, treasure hunters have focused their efforts on uncovering the wreck of the Urca de Lima, a ship considered to have been one of the wealthiest in the fleet. Some believe that its treasure still lies beneath the sea, waiting to be discovered, and as technology continues to improve, it's possible that the final pieces of the puzzle will soon be found. The story of the 1715 Spanish treasure fleet is not just one of lost treasure. It's a tale of loss, tragedy, and hope. It represents a time when the ocean was both a source of great wealth and a deadly force that could erase everything in an instant. The fleet's sinking, the recovery of its treasure, and the efforts to uncover its secrets make it one of the most enduring mysteries of the sea. The 1715 Spanish treasure fleet is a story of unimaginable wealth and unimaginable loss. It is a tale of ships that sail with the promise of riches, only to be swallowed by a merciless storm. It is a story of pirates who looted the wrecks, of salvagers who tried to recover what was lost, and of treasure hunters who continue to search for the fleet's sunken fortune. And it is a story that, despite centuries of effort, still has many questions left unanswered. The mystery of the 1715 Spanish treasure fleet lives on. Whether the remaining treasure will ever be uncovered is uncertain, but the legend of the lost fleet and the treasure carry continues to capture the imagination of people around the world. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more about unsolved mysteries, historical enigmas, and the hidden treasures of the world, don't forget to subscribe to The Silent Confession for more. Make sure to like, share, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an episode. Until next time, keep your confessions silent